Hello everybody, jimmyispromo here, and in this episode of Gadgets and Stuff, this episode 20, and here I've got myself a portable suitcase style vintage turntable. And so this one is perfect for me because I am new and I am a beginner when it comes down to records and vinyls. But this one's really cool for myself because it has a lot of technology that I am very familiar with, which is going to be with a 3.5 millimeter earphone jack, so you can plug it in, listen to your music without disturbing anybody else. And it also has a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary in jack, so then this way you'd be able to also listen to music from, let's say, your MP3 player or your cell phone. And so this one right here is perfect for anybody that is starting off. So there is several other styles that are very similar to this by different companies. So Crosley has one that's very similar to this one, as well as Boytone, and then a few others as well. And so it just kind of depends on how, what type of features would you like to be, a part of your little turntable. So this one is made for being portable. So it is a briefcase to where I'd actually be able to just kind of shut it, give it a little lock, and then now I'm actually portable. The only thing is that you have the AC adapter right here, or the DC adapter, to plug it on in, so you'd be able to give it a little bit of power, but you also got yourself some of the volumes right here, so you'd be able to turn it all the way down to turn it off. If you spin it right all the way back on, it'll be turning up the volume. Here is the earphone jack, so you'll be able to plug it in for some headphones, or even plug in, let's say, like maybe a JBL flip. Here is your audio output, so you can be able to plug this into your external speakers, which this one is highly recommended to do because the speakers that are built in here are not extremely loud. There's not a ton of bass, but the purpose is to have that vintage style sound as well as the look. And then here is the line in, so then this way you'd be able to plug in your MP3 players or your cell phone to listen to music from your speakers right here. So let's kind of look at what is exactly on the inside. So let's get a little bit of a closer look. So you have right up over here the three different speeds you'd be able to play it at. You have the 33, 45, and also 78 RPM. And then you have the ceramic stereo cartridge with stylus is right over here. And it did originally come with a little plastic cover to give it a little bit of protection when you're carrying it around for transportation. Belt drive system. You also have the built-in two speakers, which the two speakers are right in the very front. And before, like I said, you do want to connect it with external speakers because the wattage is 0.3 watts on each one. It is a wooden cabinet with PU leather, and then you also got the chrome silver corner. You have the RCA, all the outputs over here. So we kind of talked about that, but right here you do have a little locking neck mechanism to kind of lock in place the little swing arm. So this way you'd be able to, now lift it up. This little button right over here lifts it on up, and it gets you ready to go to place it right over here, to place it right where you would like to have your record start. And then the only thing is that the next part is just by lowering the swing arm, and it'll play the music for you. Now, I wouldn't try to push it down. Once this is lifted and pushed back, don't push down on this. You don't want to hurt the hydraulics and everything built inside of there. Once you place it on down, it will firmly lay right there, and then you'll be able to lock it right back up into place. And so right here, you do have the auto stop. So you can either have it off or you can have it on. And I highly recommend having the auto stop turned on, so then this way, once it gets to the very end of the record, it's not going to just keep going around and making a little crackling noise, close to where the inner part of the record is at. So there is two colors you'd be able to get, which is turquoise and also black. So let's look at the line in. So if I was to plug in my cell phone, and let's say that there was some MP3s or music I would like to listen to, and it's coming from the cell phone over to the little turntable, then this is exactly what it would sound like. And again, you got to remember that it is only 0.3 watts. So it's really not bad if you're looking for some background noise, something that's not too terribly, hugely loud. But if you're looking for that big bass, that big sound, you do want to connect it with an external speaker. And that's the other thing I'm going to show off right now, is I'll actually just have my little JBL speaker right here. And this one right here is going to be going into the headphone jack. So let's say that you don't have a huge sound system, or you don't have any amplified speakers, which I would highly recommend. The best way you'd be able to do is connect this through these audio outputs here, which I will show you with my little surround sound that I have connected with the TV. But you're going to want to have some huge speakers that have amplification inside of it, so it's able to amplify the music coming from the turntable, going over to your speakers to give it its bass and all the extra added power that it's supposed to have. So here we go. We're going to lift it on up. I'll move the needle and the stylus right on over, and I'll just kind of place it pretty much almost anywhere, and then I'm going to bring it right on down, and then this is what it will sound like when you have a little external speaker with it. Okay, so that was apology, that was a little loud, but you know, this JBL speaker does do a really good job with being a little, you know, Bluetooth speaker. The only thing is that when you do have it connected right here, you're going to hear a little bit coming out of these speakers in the very front, but that's really all you're going to hear. And then once you turn it on up, so it's kind of hard to kind of tell with another camera recording all the sound because you can't hear it with your own ears, but it does actually get pretty loud, just not incredibly bassy. So now let's go to the very next thing, which is connecting this over into my surround sound. So I do have right now my auxiliaries plugged in for the red and also the white. So here we go. We will lift up the arm right again, and we'll place it right over where we'd like it to play. And let's actually bring down the arm. And then now this is connected to my surround sound that's pretty much connected to also my TV. So you can turn up the volume on the speaker itself on the turntable, or you can bring it all the way back down. And then now this is where you'll be able to change the volume that is now on your surround sound that you could have connected in your house. Now, how accurate is the 33, the 45, and also the 78? So now you can bring it down to 45. And there we go with 78. So it does do its job. It does do exactly what it's supposed to do. So if I was to give my last thoughts on this, this is basically a really good turntable for anybody who wants to get into and just starting off, or you haven't listened to any of your vinyl records in such a long time. The coolest thing about it is that it is extremely portable. So you just take off your record, and then you'll be able to place it right inside of here, and then give it a little lock. And then now all you got to do is just carry on the little AC to DC little adapter right here to be able to give it all of its power to play all of your music. So the cool thing about this little record player here is that there is no extra added stuff in terms of you can't put in a little, you know, cassette tape, you can't put in the CD. This is strictly just for your vinyls. It looks good on any tabletop if you get it in turquoise or if you get it in black. The little speakers do give you a little bit of sound, but it's not going to be extremely loud or bassy or hefty. Now, this is perfect for anybody's house or apartment or anything else like that. And it's great for anybody who, no matter what your setup is, if you have yourself only a little JBL little speaker you can connect to, or if you don't have it, you just have a small room, you can use these speakers, or you can also use it with a surround sound that is in your house, or if you already have the full setup of some big speakers with some amplification that is a part of it that you'd be able to use with the auxiliaries right over here for your audio output, then this is also good for you as well too. So the price point on this is perfect. It's right up in the 60s and the 70s. It's always going to change because prices, you know, always fluctuates. And so I do want to say thank you to the company 1byone for sending this out to me. It is a perfect, you know, starter and also beginner for vinyls, or just to get back into it, or if you like one that is travel, you know, and easy to be portable, because this thing is really only 5.5 or 5.7 pounds, which is usually half or 2 or 3 pounds lighter than a lot of the other travel portable turntables. So I do want to give this one we'll say a 4 out of 5, because it is portable, it is easy, it can get anybody into owning records and getting into vinyl. And I do remember, yes, my very first 2 vinyls is Nirvana and also Imagine Dragons. So you will always remember the records that you've purchased for it. The only thing that I would like to change about it is probably going to be the speakers. I just wish that there was just a little bit more coming out of it, since no matter what, you do have to have it plugged in order for it to work. So I kind of hope that maybe there would be at least 3 watts instead of the 2 by 0.3 watts. But outside of that, I hope you guys like this video. I will put the link for this right below the video as well, so you guys can look at it. So if you guys are looking for any of the portable, you know, vintage style looking turntables, this is a very good product for you guys to look at. So outside of that, make sure you guys hit on like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.